When I first started to realise there was something a little bit different about me to me friends at school was for television programmes. So a lot of my male friends were really keen on Charlie's Angels, and we're always talking about the kind of the stars in Charlie's Angels and how they fancied them. And even though Kate Jackson was my favourite Charlie's Angel, and I pretended that I fancied her, actually people that I was more interested in were people like Tom Selleck in Magnum PI and Lee Majors in $6 Million Man, and there was a tennis player called Roscoe Tanner who I actually thought at the time I wanted to be like them. But as I got a little bit older, I realised that I didn't want to be like these people. These were the people they were the ones that I fancied.
I didn't know where I belonged because boys were of no interest to me whatsoever. I had two brothers that I lived with I thought were pretty disgusting. And so there were no mystery to me. Girls, on the other hand, I didn't understand them at all because they seemed utterly alien. So then I couldn't figure out where I was supposed to fit until considerably later. I did used to have fantasies about rescuing. If I had a crush on a certain girl, I would have fantasies about rescuing her from dire occurrences, and she'd be so grateful, that she'd let me kiss her on the cheek or something. That seemed perfectly natural to me. It didn't seem odd at all at the time because it was about me, and clearly that was trying to tell me something. But I never heard the word lesbian mentioned, uttered in my house.
I had a good social life with friends, school friends, stuff. So we went out, played squash, played football, did all the things, that you did to fit in. You do what you have to do, and be who you have to be to fit in, although privately you're not fitting in and you're not actually coping with it.
I don't think I'd identified myself as gay. I think I was, with doing this cookery in the home economics, I realised I had to stick up for myself because either people are going to ridicule me and laugh, and I thought I had to get a backbone really, because I was the only one. I had no brothers or sisters to protect me, and I was the only one. I had to stick up for myself. So if I was looking effeminate or talking a bit camp or anything, I had to just give people back and stick up for myself rather than maybe go away home and cry. I never done that. I was always just tell people what I thought of them, and I think that gave me a backbone. So especially doing something else that was quite feminine, I would say, well, this is me. If you don't like it, go away. And that's what I done, and I always had that attitude, I think, really.
I had a real thing about watching on 1970s TV Charlie's Angels and the Bionic Woman, and those were quite novel back then in the 1970s because you didn't usually see women in strong roles on TV. So I used to think that these were like my role models and I wanted to be like them. And, everybody at the time played Charlie's Angels in the back street on a night time, everybody running around with their hand made into a gun, trying to catch the bad guy and everything. The boys played, the girls played, it was great. So that was fine. And then I had this moment of realisation when a female friend came with, I think it was a copy of Lookin', which was a magazine at the time, and had a picture of a male pop star in the middle, looking very glamorous and doing his sexy pout and everything, and said, "Oh, isn't he lovely, Janet? Wouldn't you love to snog him?" Now, I only vaguely knew what snogging somebody was, but I can remember very clearly thinking, well, no, I don't want to snog him. I want to snog Kate Jackson out of Charlie's Angels. And then immediately thought, oh, that's what's different about me.